Question 2 says that Carolyn has a rectangular plastic mat and a circular plastic mat as shown in the diagram below. The perimeter of the rectangular mat is equal to the circumference of the circular mat. If Carolyn uses 3.14 for pi, she can determine that n equals, we have 10, 20, 30, and 40 as our answer options. But first, let's go and get the important information from our question. We know this is our end goal. We want to find out what n equals. We have some n's on this rectangle, and we have an n on the circle. We know that we'll have to use 3.14 for pi, so we're definitely going to want to use a calculator. And then we're going to deal with perimeter and circumference. This rectangular mat is equal to, the perimeter of it is equal to the circumference of the circular mat. So first we're going to have to find the perimeter of this one, and then we will set it equal to the circumference of this. Knowing, thinking back to early elementary when you learn how to find perimeter, it's adding up all the sides of a rectangle. So we would have to add up n plus 1 plus 2n plus 1.8. And then if this is 2n plus 1.8, so is this. And if this is n plus 1, then this is n plus 1 as well.
Students and staff, this is Dr. Phillips, and I'm happy to announce that our TELPAS testing is over for today. You may continue to use the Lab 0 for copying or lab sessions. Thank you.
Okay, sorry for that interruption, guys. So we were saying that if this side is n plus 1, this side is n plus 1 as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add another one of those. And then if this side is 2n plus 1.8, so is this one, and we'll add that as well. Because perimeter is of all four sides, so make sure you're adding all four sides. And now we're going to use our reference materials to deal with the circumference. Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, or pi d. Well, this length shown is a radius, and they called it n, so we know that it's really the radius. 2 pi r is the formula that we'll use because we have a radius. So it's going to be 2 times, we were told to use 3.14 for pi, and then r, which they said was n long. Okay? This is where your calculator becomes your best friend, because look at what I did here. Turn the calculator back on. I plugged that whole thing into nsolve. Everything straight into nsolve here. We know that this perimeter is equal to the circumference here. I plugged all of that in just as I wrote it. The exact same way. Comma n, because we wanted to know what n was. And I solved and found that n was equal to 20. Now, to go back and check yourself to make sure that that's correct, we can just take our answer. We said that n equals 20, and we can test it using the equation that we wrote. So our equation said that n, or 20, plus 1 plus 2 times n, or 20, plus 1.8 plus 20 plus 1 plus 2 times 20 plus 1.8 would be equal to 2 times 3.14 times n, which was also 20. Alright, so this I would not need to use nsolve for. Actually, I'm going to calculate just this half here, and then calculate this one, do two separate things in my calculator. I would have 20 plus 1 plus 2 times 20. Oh no, wasn't typing yet. Okay, 20 plus 1 plus 2 times 20 plus 1.8 plus 20 plus 1 plus 2 times 20 plus 1.8, and see what that equals. It's 125.6. And now I'm going to solve for this side. which was just 2 times 3.14 times 20. That was 125.6. That checks out. So N was indeed 20. And I just verified my answer by plugging in what I got here using InSolve back into my equation and doing calculate to both sides.